calor, chicas. Chicas, 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 chicas. Chicas, chicas, chicaslandia. Pero chavos, ¿cómo andan? Yo ando despertando, Cirques. Despertando a la vida, güey. Los Exceles, top Exceles 2023. Ay, güey. Hololive. Miami. Esta pinche gente rata, güey. Hololive. Oreimo. Los bichos. Spy Family. ¿Qué pedo, chavos? ¿Cómo andan? Me salieron cosas de Barbie Cirque. Un hot topic. Para los que son muy así ustedes. Ay, güey. Ok. Ay, güey, está chida esta camisa. O sea, sí, pero no. Que viene la película. Para los que vienen en el Chuco, vayan a Hot Topic, güey. Está en verga Hot Topic. Chingo de mierda. No, no vayan, de hecho pidan a Hot Topic. Está chida. 10 páginas de Barbie. Ay, Dios. Es demasiado Barbie, güey. Barbie Birthday. Pinche película. Demasiado hype. Demasiado hype, chavos. Pero bueno, vamos a jugar a lo que... De lo que se trata el pinche directo. Ando bien amanecido, güey. Aparecí en el chat. La gente se emociona mucho. Mírate las películas. Para entender el lore. El universo, güey. El megaverso. ¿Cómo se llama? Multiverso. Vamos a ver mi pinche biblioteca. Conectamos el controla, güey. Controla. A ver qué pedo. ¿De qué se trata esto, Cirques? Ay, qué calor hace, güey. Es un caballo, una estatua y un güey. Ahí vengo. Samu Studio. Samuel. El estudio de Samuel. Cargando 1000 horas, güey. El estudio de Samuel, chicas. O sea, la verga. Bueno, es Saum Manuel. Que juegue el Minecraft. No mames, que si se nota acá que son vacaciones, güey. El Sumis no le gusta, sí, pero pues Ahí nomás voy a comprar tenis casi, güey. Es que como que Sumi se volvió una tienda para pinches drogadictos. Para putos marihuanos, nomás. Todo está relacionado con las marihuanas, güey. Y nomás voy por tenis torta. Pero también patinetas a veces. Antes. El pedo es que esto no carga nunca, güey. Clochadísimo. A reiniciar. Está muy, no mames, ¿por qué tarda tanto, güey? Ponte verga, jueguín. Ah, resulta, güey, que está pesadísimo. No puede mi tarjeta gráfica, güey, con el pinche juego este. Puede con GTA, pero no puede con disco Elysium. Chingaos piensa, güey. ¿Cuánto tiempo le damos? Hasta las 2, güey. Digo, hasta las 13:40. Una partida. Pues visualmente, pues muy bonitos. Intelectual, emocional, bruto. Muy inteligente, ingenioso, pero insensible. Se le ocurren todo tipo de ideas. Mira, güey, es que ahorita. Mira, yo. Vamos a ver quién soy yo, chicas. Ingenioso no soy, insensible sí. Se le ocurren ideas, pues no tanto. Emocional, muy receptivo. No. Personalidad magnética, pero inestable. Inestable sí. Bruto. Es eficaz, pero más tonto que una piedra. Ah, ¿cuál seré más? Ay, güey. Vamos a ver enciclopedia. Más enciclopedia, más mundo. Buenas tardes, María CLR. Vamos por unos tacos. Ay, bueno, fuera, es cerca. Los pinches tacos. ¿Cuál escojo? Tú, María, ¿cuál escojo? De estos tres viejos. ¿Intelectual, emocional o brutis? Es culpa de AMLO. Sebastián Cortés, saludos. O sea, dímelo en el chat ahí, al cabo estoy viendo el chat. Don't worry. Don't worry about it. ¿Cómo que inestable? Pues inestable, que se pone pendejo muy fácil, güey. Intelectual. Ay, qué listos todos, viejos.
penetrates your skull, trying to force your eyes open. It's a sound, a clarion call from hell.
Somehow, you know what it is. A caprice Canadian motor carriage.
Si me ando en calzones. Pues la A, pues ya le piqué la A.
The window stands broken in its frame. Cold wind blows in.
Fácil 9.
The morning light hurts your eyes. It's hazy, but you see the ocean and some war-torn buildings. What do you mean, assess the damage? How would you do that? What are you even trying to do? This fan has two chamber switches. One ends in a tiny fan, the other in a light bulb. A truly horrific necktie has somehow attached itself to one of the blades.
Igualada. Vamos a ver si pierdo. Es muy
You
probable
swoop
que
up
sí, ¿no?
and catch the tie. Snap. It's released from the blade. What you have in your hand is a truly hideous necktie with 4 or 5 different patterns. The knot reminds you of a noose.
Accionar la bombilla.
A terrible mistake. Turn the lights off immediately. You can practically feel the photons burning a hole in your brain. The lights are off. The blades come squeaking to a halt. The switch must be broken because nothing happened. The switch must be broken. A terrible mistake. Turn the lights off immediately. Your eyes burn with photosensitivity. It's not good. The lights are off again. The lights are on. The lights, the lights, the light, the light, the light, the light, the light, the light, the lights.
Ay, qué hueva, eh.
A mirror hangs above a bent and broken surface. In a fierce discharge of masculine energy, someone has ripped half the faucet off. Hot water sprays from the base and steam covers the mirror. You cannot see yourself, just the outline. Suddenly, you realize you have no memory of the face that awaits you there, underneath the soft vapor. As you slowly reach your hand, abort. You clearly have not thought this through. You won't like what you see there, and you will never unbecome it. Behold. You have no idea who this thing is, do you?
Huh.
It appears you're also dead. There's clearly rigor mortis on your face. Oh wait, is that an expression? Are you trying to make an expression with that face? Please stop. It's horrible. You're scaring yourself. You can't, can you? It's like it's not even voluntary anymore. You have worn that grin into your face, and now what does it even mean? What is the emotion you're trying to convey? You should check yourself for a pulse, superstar. From here, you find no sign of life on your swollen neck. However, putting your hand on your chest reveals an irregular heartbeat. You appear to be alive, for now. It belongs in the new, the third decade of the current century. Enough time had passed from the failure of the revolution that, for a fleeting moment, free market economy seemed like the ultimate, uncontested way of life. For hours, things were good. It was smooth sailing. People made gold and champagne-tinted interiors and facades to suit the times, calling this the new style. But more importantly, disco happened. For Revachol, your city, that meant only one thing. If it doesn't rhyme, you're not pronouncing it right. Out of the dazzling swirl of disco music, in an open air, boîte de nuit, somewhere in Revachol West, Guillaume's blonde mane appeared on the screen. He sang some bullshit. Then he made the expression. Some 20-odd years, there is a vast ocean of time between right now and the expression. Looking good on you, or anyone. Humanity has run aground in that time. It's a different world now. The expression, everyone loved it. Maybe you thought some of the stardust would rub off on you. Maybe it did. Either way, it's all gone now. Only the grimace remains. The click is used to spur on a horse. It also features heavily in Guillaume Lemillion's regional mega hit, Don't Worry, Your Pretty Little Head. You have some understanding of the near history of disco. The rest is darkness, aside from the useless fact that the motor carriage outside was a caprice canema. It doesn't have to be. You can swoon over Guillaume and his champagne-corked smile whenever you want to. Maybe some of the stardust will return. It's too late. Like an image on film. The expression belongs to your primary motor cortex. It would take a minor neurological miracle for you to cease producing it.
Cabrón, no mames.
You hear a jingle. Keys are clinking in the... It says whirling in rags on the aluminium keyring. There is a single... The whirling in rags is a hostel cafeteria on the urban coast, frequented by dock workers.
Cabrón, ¿qué hice, güey? A ver. Lógica, retórica, teatralidad. Ay, no mames, güey. Entonces se supone que le hago una enciclopedia, abstracción. Ay, son muchas cosas, cerca. Signer. Samuelo. Saludos, Samuelo. ¿De dónde es la foto, güey? Ok. Espérate. Ok. Pues tengo que conseguir la ropa, ¿no? Córrele, mono. Sí entiendo la hueva de vivir, pero...
The window stands broken in its frame. Cold wind blows. The morning light hurts your eyes. It's hazy, but you see the ocean and some war-torn buildings. The shards face outward. Whatever broke this window came from the inside. A fine web of scarring covers the back of your right hand, but none of it is recent. More likely a projectile than a held object. There are no fragments on the floor from pulling a tool back in after impact. It is too large for a bullet, yet too small for a piece of furniture. You're looking for something heavy and larger than your fist. The single green shoe you found fits the hole almost as well as your foot. It would have also been heavy enough if... Congratulations, you smashed the window with your own shoe. Now you only have one. If you're lucky, you could still find the other one on the balcony outside. The door to it should be outside your room. You mean someone else took your shoe off and smacked? This person also forced the drinks on you. A cool wind gushes in. Your toes curl up from the cold.
Mames.
Hello, officer.
The young woman raises a cigarette to her lips. Her eyes are brown and her face is speckled with birthmarks. She can't be more than 28. A silver jumpsuit falls off her like scale armor, sparkling. This is the sparkle of too many nights out on the city.
No. Because you're a police officer, sir. I am, yes. Unless you've been feeding us a set of very well-rehearsed lies all this time. You've been here for 3 days on official police business. No, couldn't say. In truth, so far, mostly drinking.
You have no doubt about the drinking, but do you strike yourself as a tight-lipped drunk? She must have heard something.
Ay Dios, qué juegos. Es igual, no hay probabilidad.
The words have already left your mouth.
Ay, se mamó.
What was that? That's not even how words are used. What did you say? Come on, say it again. No, you see, that's not what you said. You said... Come on, man. Pretty, please. One more time. Goddamn right you did. You crazy asshole, you. What kind of cup are you? Okay, that's cool. Or if I can just maybe ask you to elaborate on that superstardom a tiny bit. I have certainly been entertained. Thank you. Whatever you are, it's gonna suck for you later when you have to interrogate me. And for the record, no, I didn't do it.
Es que no me deja picarle, güey.
The door is closed. There is no answer. You hear the shower being turned on somewhere inside. This door can only be opened with a key or from the inside. Still no answer. Still nothing. Still nothing. This door can only be opened with a...
Chivato incómodo. Estoy.
You should totally sing karaoke here, the first chance you get. Your emotions need to be expressed. People need to know your vast, oceanic soul. Utterly. And it through a PA system, by other people. Who is mistakenly identified as a cop for his prominent jawline? Yes, sounds likely. You should probably go on stage and pose for a... Who is mistakenly identified as a cop for his prominent jawline? Yes. You have not yet stumbled on the right lamentation, but it's out there. It'll come to you. You will wreak havoc with... Serves them right. Wipe that smirk off their face with... You have to find something tragic to sing first, though. Who is mistakenly identified as... You have not yet stumbled on the right lamentation. No. Don't sing the happy song. It's stupid. You have to find something tragic. A man in his late 20s stands behind the counter, inspecting a stuffed seabird. Everything is cool between you and this guy. He's a big fan. Make some small talk. A competent work of taxidermy. The white and brown seabird lies among piles. Looks like the bird was ripped off the shield that was used to mount it. This is the great skua. The seabird is the symbol for the discovery of the Insulindian. The small steel tag says as much. The Great Skua. Ste Koari's Skua.
Look, your buddy is over there. Why don't you go and talk to him, okay?
He pretends not to hear you, concentrating on the bird.
No, I'm not the bartender. I'm the cafeteria.
He's very animated all of a sudden. This seems like a touchy subject.
I have 3 cafeterias to manage. 3. Sylvie tends the bar here, not me. I'm only standing in. She just, you know.
His eyes dart from left to right. This man isn't lying, but he is hiding something.
So now you recall. Oh, forget it.
A competent work of taxidermy. Looks like the bird was ripped off the This is the Great Skua. The small steel tag says as much.
Look, your buddy is... Why don't you go and talk to him, okay?
He pretends not to hit. Looks like this is the small steel tag says as much.
Look, your buddy... Why don't you go and talk to...
He pretends not to hear you. Concentrate. A colorful piece of plastic is dangling from his carabiner. Makes your fingers itch. On the counter, rolled out of his open hand, you see a blister pack of headache medicine. The man does not mind. You probably need them more than he.
You've just picked up some magnesium. This item is stored in the bottom left corner of the screen above your character portrait. Use magnesium to heal your morale if you have morale damage.
Magnesio.
It's a dock worker's ID, doubling as a shift card and a job permit. A young, able-bodied man stares back at you from the photo. Santiago S. John. You fumble with the spring loop like fucking sleigh bells. What are you?
Stop finger-fucking him, officer! I'm responsible for these oafs and their stuff! Even Sleepy there!
Oh,
Yeah, sure. I don't care. Just don't finger-bang his stuff, okay?
You gently shake his shoulder, but nothing happens. This man could probably sleep soundly in a ship's...
es que no quiero salir.
Hello, sweetie. You shouldn't keep your colleague waiting. Hello.
Ay, güey.
That sugary black rum stain on the counter makes you teary-eyed with joy. It's almost touching how syrupy and sticky it is. How long have you been up already? Sweet Lord, a whole hour. And you haven't thought about the rum and lemonade in all that time? You've truly extinguished all trace of yourself. Maybe you haven't turned out well for your drinking. Have you thought about that? Get a goddamn rum and lemonade into yourself, boy. You press your tongue against the counter. The stain is crusted at first, but after a couple of licks, it starts to melt. You could definitely go for some more. The titillating scent of alcohol in your... The theme on that pinball machine is a standard royalist theme, used on everything from pinball cabinets to full flavors, clinging to a picture book version of the past century, waiting for the king to come back and cast out all the profiteers and homosexuals. Basically, imagine a yellow plastic crown with a liquor brand emblazoned on it. It comes free with a six-pack of Vermilion Roy d'Or. The words Roy d'Or are stamped into the crown's plastic. The sentiment is called anti-centennial nostalgia, pining for a time before the turn of the century. It's common even now, after 50. A bespectacled man in an orange bomber jacket is tapping his foot on the floor. As you approach, he narrows on the sleeve of his bomber jacket, as well as on its back, are the same enigmatic white rectangles as on your blazer.
Hello, I'm Kim Kitsuragi, Lieutenant, Precinct 57. You must be from the 41st.
You realize he's waiting for your name. Concentration makes you squint your eyes. Your name should be deep gold and orange, like a forest fire looming on the horizon, but mixed with the stench of liquor rising from your breath. You're 2 steps closer to it, but there are still many to...
Okay then. It looks like we had a little scheduling error on Sunday. Saturday too, actually.
What he means is, he has been trying to meet up with you for 2 days, but you have been otherwise occupied.
If you don't mind, we should talk to him again. Ask him for a rundown of the area. Not that it also wouldn't hurt to assure him the police are finally here. In full force, I mean. Have you mapped out the initial interviews? At the 57th, we like to prepare an initial list of persons of interest, and then just skim the surface. Prepare the field, get to know the players. We don't do that? Maybe it's not an inter-district practice. Right. And the interviews? Good. But even if you haven't, we'll have time for that after we take a look at it. Have you removed the dead body from the tree? So, the body is still where it has been hanging for 7 days straight. We should go there as soon as we are done talking to the owner. After you, officer.
If you're about to embark on an investigation, shouldn't you have a badge?
You mean you don't have a badge? Losing your identification card is a serious matter. My vehicle has a shortwave. You can use it to report your badge missing. I advise you to try to look.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi is now in your party. You can talk to him whenever.
Aquí, ¿qué? No, espérate, güey.
The man with the unimpressive beard notices you approaching.
Mr. Gart, right?
Yes.
I am Kim Kitsuragi from Precinct 57. This is an inter-district investigation, so joining me from Precinct 41.
Dorado y naranja.
No, you cannot.
Officer, I was thinking more along the lines of your name.
What? What is this? A joke to you? Is this what you get when you call the police now? This guy? We've been waiting for a...
Sir, I understand your concern, but we are here to...
Yes, of course.
I know it took us a while to arrive at the scene, but it also took you a while to call us. It was you...
No, I only just got here. It was probably Sylvie who called you.
Do you have her number?
As a matter of fact, I do.
This sounds like something you can use to call.
You said you just got here. From where?
What, of Martinez? No, I live in Jamrock.
But you still know your way around, yes?
Yes, I know where some things are, but as I said, I don't live here.
I didn't imply that. Detective.
He probably means this is where you step in and ask your questions. His face expresses profound doubt. Ask him about the body's location before asking if he killed him. People give up information in the more innocuous questions, which you can later use in the more sinister ones, not vice versa.
Behind this building, there's a courtyard. They hoisted him up on... That's easy. See that door there? First you exit through that. Then, to your right, you should see a big hole in the fence. A really big one. You can get to the courtyard.
This man means the heavy cavalry of the innocents Franco Negro, sweeping over the plains and nations of the enemies of mankind. 5th century style.
¿Qué pedo con el novelón?
And the concept of cool came in their wake. They wore lamella and carried.
Omar, ni estaba de moda la AI, güey.
Franco-Nigerian heavy cavalry was really, really wide. That hole in the fence must be enormous.
¿Quién lo mató? A ver, voy, ahí vengo. Espérenme, chicas. Está muy novelón el novelón. Al novelongo. Esto va a ser un programa.
Behind this building, there's a courtyard. That's easy. See that door there? First you...
This man means the heavy cavalry of the innocents Franco Negro, sweeping over the plains and nations of the enemies of mankind.
Haven't you asked me that already? What is it with you and this woman? She has nothing to do with this. Okay, you got me. She went away because of the dead body out back. And because I asked for her number. That's why Sylvie went away. I hope you appreciate that.
Thank you.
I asked an employee out. She didn't want to come, but felt obliged to. It was a bad idea. Now, what is so goddamn fascinating about that for you? It's got nothing to do with the lynching. Good for you. Was there something else? I'd like to get back to what I don't know who killed him. I'm not the...
This is it. He said they hoisted him up on a tree. Who is this they? If
Oh, people are saying it was the Union dock workers, that it was a lynching. The locals, customers, the people who eat here, a lot of dock workers eat here. Sylvie told me everyone knows the dock workers.
Did the debarders themselves tell her this, or is it
I don't really know. You'll have to ask her. I would suppose it's because they have nothing better.
You mean the strike?
Yes, the strike. The man they hanged was a security guard for the harbour company, I hear. A mercenary. The Unionistas probably thought they'd send a message. What are you, crazy? Of course I didn't kill him.
the lieutenant turns the page in the little notebook he's been scribbling in.
Let's go.
Not so fast. You owe me 130 real. Oh, excuse me. You owe me 130 real.
The IIR, or Inter-Isolary Real, is the global reserve currency. Whatever part of the world you're in right now, it's safe to assume he means you owe him some money.
No, you don't owe me street rent. You owe me money. You owe this establishment 130 real. Let's see. 3 nights at a tariff of 20 real comes to 60 real. Then there's the window you annihilated. The hole in the window was the first thing I saw when I came to work. So don't try to tell me you didn't. That will be 40 real in damages. Another thing you've annihilated is half the bar. You've run a tab of 30 real. Actually more, but we'll round it down to 30 for your hard work maintaining the stability and order of Revachol. That's 60 plus 40 plus 30 equals 130 real. And yes, real is still money. What are you, a philosopher? Money is what grown-up people use to pay for things. Things like this hostel room or 8 bottles of potent blend. Yes, it is. No, you see, that's 40 cents. Cents are a form of currency 100 times smaller than the real. I'm not even going to take this. Come back when you have 130 real. Yes. It is.
Isn't it evil? The order of magnitude between what is asked of a person and what they have.
La verga, pinche pregunta. Digo, pinche frase filosófica. ¿No te parece malvado el orden de magnitud en lo que se le pide a una persona y lo que tiene?
It does, doesn't it?
There's a shuffle of nylon as Lieutenant Kitsuragi looks for something in the pockets of his orange bomber.
Let's see. Another thing you've annihilated is half the bar. You've run. I'm sorry, but he has to pay. I can't.
Officer, maybe you're better off working this from home for now. You live in Jamrock, right? It's not that far away.
You mean somewhere else to run up a huge debt? I don't think so. The union's squeezing most places out of business to fund the strike. You're better off home.
Officer, you really need to take this up with your station. I have a shortwave radio in my car. Call them. Ask for us.
Good luck.
By the way, where is home? The address is coming up blank, and this place sure isn't it. But you've been at this hostel cafeteria for only 3 nights. Where were you before? You had to be somewhere. In time or space?
Pues tiempo, ¿no?
That doesn't sound like somewhere you can stay if you run out of money. You can try. Run some addresses in your head when you get the time.
A ver. Ya puedo subir.
The door is closed. Still nothing. The lieutenant gives you a quick glance. Still, the lieutenant gives you. This door can only be opened with a key. This door can only be opened with.
Yes? What do you want to know? No, it's not a particularly mysterious case. The deceased is a security guard for a corporation involved in a labor dispute. It doesn't take a DeLorean polymath to put the pieces together. I just don't see the case getting more mysterious than that. Then you are in luck, because we are in the midst of a major strike by the dock workers union. Maybe more than that.
Is this a strike then? Or the first shots in a.
I expect the case itself to be less challenging than navigating these community matters. This district isn't used to the RCM's presence, and the union rarely overplays strike, coup, revolution. It's brigandage, however.
You feel something rising through you. A familiar feeling. An opinion taking form.
¿En dónde la están vendiendo, Oaxaca?
Politics is habit forming and hazardous. It is also irrelevant to police work. You're right to doubt the impulse. It might be detrimental to our task here.
From an imaginary fan.
Now, was there anything else you wanted to know about the case? I'm afraid you and I are pawns in a pissing competition. You don't know? I assumed you were in on it. That's good. It's just stupidity. We shouldn't waste any more time on it. If you want my take, ask me after we've inspected the victim. Later. Was there anything else you wanted to know about the case? Good. I don't see how my life is pertinent to the investigation. That's a fair point. All right, for the good of the investigation, what do you want to know? That's because I'm half Seolite, or quarter. My father's father was from Seoul, so was my grandmother, but from my mother's side. It's not an interesting topic. It's a part of the world, officer. A geopolitical entity, and a geographic...
Seoul is a protectionist, isolationist, pan-Isolary state west of the Insulindian Isola. Actually, it's quite interesting. Some would even say mysterious.
You're barking up the wrong tree. I don't speak a word of Seolite. I've never met either one of my grandparents, and I've never been to Seoul. I'm a regular Revacholier.
A point of pride to him.
No.
Your brain sends the signal to your lips, but they refuse the order. It's like you're locked down.
Something the matter, detective?
What's going on? It's like you're a puppet in his hands. The lieutenant relaxes his eyebrow, and you seem to regain control of yourself.
That's correct.
You feel a slight urge to put the lieutenant down for this, but you can't quite muster enough testosterone.
Are they? They are mostly just cumbersome. What do you mean? I have no idea.
The lieutenant's conceptualization skills must be rather rudimentary.
I can't say that it does, no.
The lieutenant produces his small blue note. We all have our different mediums. His is written.
Good. Let's change the subject. What do you want to know? Good.
The bed is cold and not particularly inviting, but it's yours.
The option to go to sleep becomes available every night after 9 p.m.
Kim also tries not to look at the pile of take viscera on the carpet, or the weird suitcase on the hat rack, or the potted plant dying in the corner. But it's all just the man is finding it hard not to trip on the tape, and not to send any of the bottles rolling across the floor. Where unidentifiable sludge makes it hard for him to breathe. Smells of vomit in the air. He takes a step toward the door, like he'd like to leave. The worker is in a deep slumber. The worker continues to nap, undisturbed despite you.
Yes? Excuse me? You have a distinctive way of walking. If I were to walk in front of you, we would surely collide. I hope you don't take this the wrong way. It's just a collegial observation. In the 57th, we call it the Jamrock Shuffle. Officer, they say it's a scene-clearing technique developed by one of your lieutenants for gathering evidence. It's erratic, yet thorough. Prioritizes containers.
Yes, but containers contain things, shiny things. They're interesting.
I don't know. Containers contain, I guess. I'm making assumptions. We should move on.
Qué hueva de estructurar el pinche árbol del juego así de los diálogos, güey. Qué trillería, qué cosa y...
The RCM in Martinez. What can I help you with? Of course. What can I help you with? Me? I am just a gardener. I am working. I have a greenhouse in the yard there. Well, as you probably know, there's a corpse hanging.
Don't worry, miss. We are here to clean.
Thank you.
Salts? Ammonium salts. Perhaps useful for later.
Of course. Where to? It's there. In the yard, right through the hole in the fence.
Even all the way over here, there's a drop of death in the spring air.
There's the pier, the Cape Side apartment buildings, some more tenements, the harbor gates, some kind of commotion, I think. I don't. Some shops and a bridge. The canal bridge leads to the coast, but it's just coast. There's a little fishing village there, and a fish market. But that, it's just water. No, actually, I think they call it the... What do you mean? We're in Martinez, sir. This intersection is called Roundabout North, I think. No problem. Of course. I won't hold you back.
If there's a corpse, then you're going to need those gloves for the autopsy.
Sure, keep them. I have another pair.
Welcome to Revachol.
Don't you welcome to Revachol me. My grandfather came here from a 3,000-year-old racist isolationist culture, while your ancestors came to desire. Every school of thought and government has failed in the city, but I love it nonetheless. It belongs to me as much as it belongs to you. It's men like you who keep Revachol divided, making it that much harder for everyone.
What he means is, fixation on the Revacholian nation makes it harder for Revachol to actually attain self-determination.
Oh, come on, man. I just said welcome.
I know exactly what you meant. You think but you see, I'm an officer of the RCM. It's actually my...
Silence. The air between them becomes, your partner needs backup. Now's your moment to shine.
Whatever you say, officers.
He smells of heavy motor oils, and his breath of high tar content cigarettes, probably Astra Whites.
Oh, not much anymore. I'm here to pick up some cargo, but the dock workers are apples.
Apples is exactly the kind of thing you'd say if you had something to hide.
Yeah, apples. I take it you had other questions? Oh, not much anymore. Apples.
Apples is exactly the kind of thing you...
Look, as detective, I come from a long line of lorrymen. We got ancient rights. Oh, I'm here to pick up a load of fucking apples, man. Just not.
Koiko may be another derogative for a person from Grad, you think?
Yeah, it's one of their main exports. They grow him down South Yeko.
In fact, Yekokata is a desolate wasteland whose name literally translates to Zone of Ecological Catastrophe. It features no scenic vistas and supports of...
Yeah? Says who? Then, I guess they grow apples somewhere else. You can never really tell with those koikois.
He means the people living in Grad.
Yeah, you know, Gradniks, Gradvolk, those degenerate cause that's what they're all called. Koiko Pichik, Loslav Koiko, Koikovic someone. Hey, if the name and description fit by the very grace of nature, who am I to say otherwise? Did you miss the part where I said they aren't here yet? Besides, even if I did have some, I wouldn't go putting my nose in them, huh?
Relax. You've got all you can get here. He probably doesn't even know what he's hauling, even if it is something unsavory. So he'd remain
Oh yeah, they're a big deal. My great-grandfather was a carter. Had a royal license. Someone with a cart. What did you think it was? Sure fucking is. We have a guild and everything, huh? Very ancient. Very goddamn right. They've been trying to fuck us out of our heritage in the name of profit. When trusting street thugs with their goods is going to fucking... it's about biological determinism. Natural. Not the most popular topic nowadays, with the coalition in charge, you know. You might want to change the topic. That is, bury your head under the... I'm not the only one. Look, I've read books. The science of fresh... People who've studied these things say that you and me are superior by design. So, naturally, we Occidentals should be in charge. Obviously, you can see the medicines. So, lately we Occidentals have experienced an unfortunate downturn when members of the superior race cease to believe in their in. The problem? The damn kips are showing a real good game lately. Same with the mosquitoes. And the other introduced species too. They're on the precipice of cultural victory.
cultural victory. What is this then?
It's what the kips of Boogie Street are going for, right under our noses. And the others too, on the radio. Heard any chansons lately? It's true. Also, you need to realize the dangers of mixing races. Who knows what might happen if people don't stay in their birthplace? You might end up with a new sub-race, with unknown characteristics, leading to extra competition. That's why you've got to control. Good. If we, the evening people, pull together, we can form a bulwark against the times. Root out the forces that...
Lieutenant Kitsuragi's stern expression remains unchanged, but you sense he can't be happy about this turn of events.
Mucho pinche pedo.
When you said before that you were down with racism, was it meant in earnest, or were you just trying to win his confidence? I suppose that's a relief. Just be careful how often you avail yourself of this technique. A lie may be useful in the short term.
We know a lie, sire, and it didn't feel like one to us. He chooses to believe.
And one more thing. As you've seen, these sorts of attitudes are quite common in Martinez. So I expect this. I've had this conversation enough times in my life. From now on, I'm going to stay out of it. How you choose to respond is your business. But be careful.
Mames, qué
The
pinche
tin
chinga
stands
de
in the
juego,
corner.
güey.
A sign says 1 bottle equals 10 cents. A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles, nasal sprays, and blister packs. Their logo is the bloodless rose. Pure.
Just ask me if you need anything from St. Baptiste. We don't stock prescription meds, but we do have Nosafed durum. I don't know. Let's see. Nosafed. I don't really know what hypnogamma is. I guess. No. Sorry. I'm not like a doctor or anything.
Nosafed heals +1 health. Dramine heals +3 health. Magnesium heals +1 morale. Hypnogamma heals +3 morale.
St. Baptiste. You know, the St. Baptiste Pharmaceuticals. The one that sells meds out of St. Baptiste.
She is right. Saint Baptiste, the company, derives its name from Saint Baptiste, the city. Itself so named because that's what it is. A rare case where that really is the full You see several packaged raincoats. The packages are small, discreet, sloppily stacked, making them easier to take unnoticed. No need to worry about knocking over a display. A colorful display of cigarettes and out. The bottles wink at you in the light. There, in that dark green glass, all in vain. The great flowing river of warmth, wine, alcohol, beer, alcohol, love, alcohol.
Welcome to
What's that magazine she's reading?
I don't know. Frit? A 7 to 11 grocery store. I think they think that the extra tea makes it funkier. It doesn't.
The story goes that normal Fritta, with 2 T's, a men's workwear shop in Vredefort, was already taken. So when Fritta Retail Inc. grew into a multinational corporation, they had to add.
You mean this? This is Pop Stars. It's got like...
Looks like it also has something called Police de la Mode, featured on page 34. This speaks to you. She pops her raspberry flavor, her shoulders tense. She shuffles back, only slightly. The lieutenant frowns at you before turning to the clerk with an apologetic half smile.
You mean this? This is Pop...
Looks like it also has...
It's where they rate different outfits famous people wear. It's kind of funny. They're kind of mean. It's about who's the most stylish. No.
We are not the fashion police. We're the real police.
Okay. I'm not really supposed to be chatting to anyone, but I don't really know anything. I mean, I know it's there, but I haven't seen it, so not really. No, I didn't know him at all. Not, no, I didn't know him at all. I don't know, really long.
No need to worry. It's just standard procedure for us to ask around. If you hear any...
Okay. Uh-huh. I don't really know anything. I mean, I know it's there, but... Uh-huh.
Ay, no mames. Este es el juego, güey. Un novelón.
A lorry stuck in the traffic jam. The windows are clear. They've been recently washed. You can see a lorryman's cabin with personal. The driver has adorned his space with a substantial collection. A large metal pendant hangs from the rear view mirror. It is the seal of Royalist era Revachol. The back end of the cabin has a small perch to sleep. Large a book with ragged edges catches your notice.
Racist nationalist paraphernalia. Not unusual in this part of town. This is our guy. Likely, yes. This guy's proud of who he is. Drapes it all over his machine.
A Stars Ryko, one of the finest Zhimsk-made motor carriages ever. An oldie, but a goldie. Not many people outside of Grad, and Revachol West too.
A Stash Ryko KK2. That's a classic model. Never thought I'd see another one repainted after what happened last time. An old case for my precinct. A couple of Zhimsk they said it was an honor killing. Hussar style. The Zhimsk community protested to...
Correction. 4,395. The fourth largest public protest of a criminal trial in Revachol.
People we are paid to protect. Let's leave it at that. 4 years for murder in Reunion. The perps were remorseful. There's...
The prisons in the greater Revachol industrial harbour are already full. Prisoners are expensive to maintain. The longer the sentence.
I try to avoid drawing far-gone conclusions like this before actually examining the body. But my initial guess is the two are unrelated. Yes, detective? You sure you're not Zhimsk?
Yes, you're sure you're not. Or if you are, it's only in that Revachol. An old monument stands in the middle of the traffic island, pointing toward the sea. It looks as if a silver plaque on the statue's pedestal reads, "I am Philip III, the Squanderer, the greatest of the Philippines." As you look up, you notice something about the statue. There are some odd indentations on the king's chest piece. Even by the standards of the Philippian kings, old sumptuous Philip was known for his profligacy. Well, he blew through the whole national treasury, starting the decline of his own maladministration foreshadowed the fall of the monarchy. Stories have it that he had his bedroom converted into a treasure chamber, where he stored unfathomable. He called it the Sol Aurum. It was obscene. There were whispers he slept on a huge pile of gold-dipped feathers, like some obese dragon, instead of a bed, like a normal person. But wait, you haven't even heard about his fabled cocaine. And you see, old Philippe wasn't just good at squandering the national treasury on gold and ceremonial weaponry. He was also a prodigious snorter of nose candy. Cocaine. That's what the revolutionaries said 150 years later. Right before they entered beneath the cold waters of the Insulindian Bay, thrown there by the original was blown apart by communards, then further damaged during the landing of the coalition. Most historians think the coalition's hasty landing may have ultimately saved the statue. Some years ago, a group of liberal, artistically inclined individuals, designers mostly, thought it would be ironic to restore the statue of the most wasteful ruler of Revachol. The statue is supposed to capture the moment it was blown apart, like an instant frozen in time, a rare butterfly trapped in amber. People in Martinaise tend to disagree, as do many prominent art critics and thought leaders. With more, those critics might have it wrong though. There's more to it than just ironism. Philip III, the squanderer, however, with his bronze face up in the air, doesn't seem concerned about what the hoi polloi think of him. Not that he ever did in life either. Something with great kinetic energy seems to have impacted the cuirass. Someone shot him in the heart. Interesting.
Okay, I can see it. Well, Martinez is riddled with bullet holes. This place saw a lot of action during the revolution, but the statue is recently renovated, so maybe a joke? Target practice or a political statement? Why not? What this shows us is guns aren't too uncommon here.
The king stands high above you, surveying the bay, mute and impatient. A simple little cadence. He seems to be making it up as he goes.
From another planet. It's the jam, my man.
The air from the east is thick with the smell of crude oils.
¿Cuál es el este, güey? ¿La izquierda?
Byproducts of the modern era.
La derecha.
You could almost.
It's a traffic jam for the ages. Harbor gates up the street are shut tight. No explanation given. Workers on strike, SCAD. Meanwhile, we're all stuck here in long-haul limbo for days upon days upon days. Yeah, exactly.
It's official. He too agrees. This is the antechamber of the afterlife.
Feels like forever. Like I was born on this here roundabout and this was all I ever knew. Just me and the metal and the tire.
Mazout is an antiquated term for heavy fuel oils. This man has a barely suppressed performative streak, or he just likes unusual words, or both.
Yeah, imagine. It's been a whole week already. So tell me, what do you need? It's like, whatever's going on over at the docks. Workers got a blockade set up.
Going on strike would probably help you dodge a bullet or two.
Maybe you should. Cops don't get paid much in the hour.
The RCM is a self-managing organization that operates on donations. We promote our own leaders. It would be like striking against your own mother. Yes, but do continue. You were asking about the strike?
Son las exigencias del sindicato.
Some pretty wild stuff, I hear. Like a giant new power crane in half the company? I forget what exactly. But I've heard talk there's a company rep in town too. Like a strike negotiator type.
Ah, yes, from the Wild Pines. We'll meet her soon.
They want to keep that money flowing in, my man. Ka-ching.
He doesn't blame them, but he's not on their side. That's for sure.
Anything else? Us lorry drivers. Camionneurs. You still hang around here waiting for this mess to end. Not my thing. Chasing transient pleasures is a drag these days. I prefer the examined life now. Thinking, reflecting.
He tries his best to look nonchalant, but there's a rigidity in him, as if trying to conceal something warm and deep beneath a cool exterior. Ease into it. Don't go too far. This seems like a personal matter.
I'm okay, man. Just the jams got me down.
Maybe the full-on, direct approach wasn't correct. Damn, it's tricky business looking into someone's eye.
He ain't one of us drivers. I know that. All account.
It's easy to see he's telling the truth. He's kept his nose out of the dark stuff.
Analyzing the fundamental structural and psychological conditions of being stranded.
Ask for his conclusion.
Oh.
A sense of surprise there ain't more bodies hanging from more trees. Oh, high-grade narcotics, illegal firearms.
Relax. He's merely joking.
Can't even get a few jokes past you, my man. I've got another haul of found cargo. They usually get shipped to Grad in the Occident, though we've been making headway in the Il Moran market lately. This rockin' beauty. Sure is, like a rash you can't get rid of.
A motor lorry, also called a camion, on Caillou and neighboring islands. This one looks roughed up enough to be some sort of found rust bucket. Maybe the A6.
Neat. For carrying large quantities of cargo a long distance. These found tracksuits, we're pals and all, but I can't just freely hand out the merchandise. Not unless they've illegalized sports equipment while I was on the road.
The man taps his fingers rhythmically against his arm.
Don't be a stranger.
Before you stands a motor carriage. The bodywork is covered in blue and vapor emanates from the large This must be the infernal machine that tore you from oblivion. The Caprice Kinema motor carriage. In the cabin, you are welcomed by a set of steering levers, a radio microphone on a scent of leatherwork and heavy fuel oils washes over you. The frequency tableau lights up, and a green button the soft purr of
This is Precinct 57. Hello, Lieutenant. How may I...
Hello, Alice. Please assist our colleague from the fort.
Operating the radio is easy. Just be confident. You've probably done it 1,000 times.
This is Officer Alice Demetri, Precinct 57.
Under the green prime line, a yellow saved button catches your eye. You wonder what the lieutenant's default radio station is.
Of course. What is the number, officer?
Yes, hold on.
Proceed.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi slowly begins to tap a little rhythm with his...
Officer, I have Sylvie Malaika on the line. Yes, hello? Oh, right. Hello, officer. What can I do for you? mean, why did I leave the bar? Honestly, I'm not...
Why not?
Let's just say I left because I needed to get away from someone. You know who? What? No, why would you even think that? Please, don't bring Gar into this. It's none of...
God, why can't you just mind your own business? She mutters.
I already said I don't want to talk about this. You're messing everything up again. No?
Soy Gabriel García González. Buenas noches, chavo.
No, sorry. I don't. People don't have the money.
So the union has a phone, and there's one further down the code.
It was someone else. We'll find them sooner or later, officer. It just might take a while.
Yeah, go on. I do hope so. Please, don't call me again. Bye.
No, she doesn't have a problem with you. It must be someone else she's angry about. Some other guy. Like God. Trust me, you wouldn't want to be the guy here. You know how it is. No, you're the guy. You're Lieutenant Love, matchmaker extraordinaire. Help the poor girl out, lest she turns into a spinster. What misogyny? I'm just telling things the way they are. Can't a man be honest in his own head? You have to act, Lieutenant Love. You have to calm that hysteric down. Tell it, think you can do that, Lieutenant Love? You're just a gimp. What? You want to be more?
Call was terminated by the other party. Anything else, officer? Just a second, officer.
10-2, 10-5.
The man uses relay code. You got this. You're a cop, and cops know relay code.
10-4, message received. 10-5, relay message. What's your status? Over. 10-18, state your message, sir. 10-9, over. 10-4, message received. This is very serious.
Is it him? What does he want?
Says he lost his badge.
He what? He lost his badge? Who lost his badge? Dick fucking Mullen. Who do you think?
It's Officer Dick Mullen from the bestseller Dick Mullen and the Lost Identity.
Dick Mullen is not your name. It's the name of a fictional detective who would not lose his badge. Defend yourself. Immediately. They're laughing at you.
10-4, I hear you, officer. I'm just going to make a note here that you are in pursuit of your misplaced badge. Over.
Fuck me. Mac, come here. You've got to hear this.
What's going on?
Super got there.
He lost his badge. He lost his goddamn fucking badge.
10-9, come again. I didn't get that. Over.
New heights even for...
Ask him. Ask him if...
Sergeant Orson wants to know if you lost your gun.
Check your pockets. Check your... Holy fuck. You don't know where it is, do you? No. It's gone. It's not fucking on you.
10-9, come in, officer. Did you get my question? We were wondering about your gun. Over.
Lying over the phone? It's easy. Just say it like it's the truth. And then...
He says he didn't.
Thank God for that. That would have been a nightmare. Losing his badge is bad enough. Tell him to...
We're all glad to hear you've not lost your gun, officer. You need further assistance? Over. Okay, 10-4.
Wait. Before you say anything stupid, think it through. Be smart about this.
10-4, sir. I'm not hearing your question. Understood, sir. Over. Roger that. 10-10. Over and out.
A metallic drawer.
Take what you need, officer. It's going to be a long case. I'm not protective of my...
The pry bar feels nice and cold in your hand. Heavier than you'd think. Useful for opening all sorts of doors and lids. The handle, you can do good work with these. It's robust, weatherproof, and well made. Police issue. Blue lets you see things in the dark you would otherwise miss. The pull-out toolbox slides back into its nest. Preheater gauge casts a warm glow on the steering levers and the radio on its hook. The white suede feels luxurious under the touch, and the metal clutch handle, so as you tap on the gauge, the indicator pin.
There's no use pressing the heat button.
Translation. We're not going anywhere right now.
No mames, güey.
Life doesn't need to be a struggle. I'll be with you in a moment. Life, I'll be...
Have you no shame? Whining about your...
René,
I'm trying to...
These manly men are playing balls. This is a ball game. Grab a ball and play it. Don't ask questions. No, you got this. There's the ball. You're the game. This felt wrong. Wrong like touching your sister's breast.
Mon Dieu! Good job, officer. That was an excellent throw.
Your muscle memory knew what to do and went for it. But there were gaps. It felt like you were going for a thrust or a lunge. There was definitely gonna be jumping. Maybe you scored a point, but this...
What are you talking about? You just executed a pretty much perfect pétanque throw.
How are you ever going to get the officer's shit off your nose, Gaston? Or even climb out of his ass? Right.
Yes, officer. What do we need from this gentleman?
Unfortunately, I don't. Unlike most of the law in Martinez, the union is the law. So can you really blame them? Cop is a pejorative term. I don't have a problem with policemen.
He doesn't know about the crime. Your time is better spent discussing politics.
If I knew, I would not be a...
'Tis true, sire. He knows nothing. Son, you've really let yourself go. It's a disgrace. But Coach Physical Instrument is going to get you back in prime condition, even if it takes 1,000,000 push-ups. It's going to take blood, sweat, piss, and tears. But behold, world, here walks a sportsman, hand... As you turn, a bright light catches your eye, making you squint. From a distant sunset, a stage light, flash photography, nowhere in particular. What are you, deaf? They're perfect, like rock star politician. Yeah, you have. You're a big dick cop, Dick Mullen. Salam Rocky Baye, badass. With a sudden flash, the world freezes around you.
Verga, güey. Demasiada mierda.
A striking woman leans against...
Good morning, officers. Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbour. You gentlemen must be from the RCM. Beaton, my maiden name. I'm glad to see you here.
Like steel. There is strength there. If she wanted, she could sink her nails deep into you.
I was dispatched to hand...
That is good to hear, madame.
It happens quicker than a shooting...
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation. And the full cooperate everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets. I believe the official type...
And how are the talks going?
They're not.
Wait. She just admitted that the lynching and the strike are connected.
Now they won't even let me into the harbour. There's a 2-meter 20 racist behemoth blocking the gates. Yes, I believe there is a connection. But that's a subject for... What can I say? The Union employs a giant covered in tattoos. A racist giant. I guess that's part of their big tent organization. Let's say I was not making the...
And when did you...
I arrived 3 weeks ago.
But the strike began in December.
I wasn't the original negotiator here.
This isn't the first time the union...
Heavens no. There have been 2...
Ludicrous even. It's meant.
Mr. Clare told him to fuck off, midget. Gaumont is short of stature, you see. Yes. Extremely. Keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more than fair with him and the youth. There are leaflets everywhere, and every worker.
Most of the workers probably don't know what that means.
In its defense, another said, demand democracy. Pretty tame stuff compared to every worker a member of the board. It's quite simple, you see. Every time the Wild Pines Group makes a decision, just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group. I'm not sure. And now, people are getting lynched.
Excuse me, from whom did you hear about...
I first heard it from the boyer at the...
This checks out.
Claire is a man of the... Of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous...
If you were to prick it with something sharp, you could see it oozing out. A knife, maybe? No, a rapier.
He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. Yes. Edgar is how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. The Débardeurs Union was organized labor...
A mob. The Débardeurs are crimes...
Refreshingly honest, officer. And your opinion, detective, if I may ask? I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the Débardeurs Union is... Thank you for being candid. Sadly, Wild Pines have cooperated with what amounts to a crime syndicate for 2 decades. I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous...
Disappeared?
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections,
This forewoman, her name?
sadly, the company records do not even give a name. She's just downright haunting, if you ask me. The point of the presentation is...
Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine.
Esquiroles, ¿qué chingados son esquiroles, güey?
Of course. How else can I help?
Este acá, huevo, le quiere pedir dinero, güey. Sí, sí está muy ratota. Y luego son 23 güeyes nomás, güey.
Quite a few things, I'm afraid. The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your...
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. And this is my...
How curious. Why is that, detective? I see. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode? I can't hear you, darling. Speak up, please. Oh dear. Some kind of... I do believe you, naive as that may sound.
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional, but he is...
Of course, I sympathize. But I'm afraid I simply can't share anything more until...
She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement. Feelings will guide the way.
I assure you, it is no small matter for me either. We all share the responsibility for disarming the situation. I hope you have a badge for me as soon as possible. Trust me, officer, I am fully committed to resolving this impasse.
She's silent. The wind flaps the sail above her.
Officer.
O sea, por andar de preguntón, güey, me baja la moral, güey. Entonces necesito ir a comprar chingaderas.
You know...
You're doing it. Despite your own best efforts, you're still getting it.
I'll be frank with you. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able. The Union is conducting. Or you can find your badge, which on it.
Detective, a word in private before we continue.
It's clear you like the hard stuff, Brota. No, no. When the blood and flesh call, there is no fascism, Brota. Many things, but it's mostly about trusting your gut. Who does your gut tell you is the source of Revershot's problems?
Dinero, siempre dinero.
Yes, them. Women.
Féminas.
Women. Men of war. You don't like them. They're insane. Their idiocy needs to be scrubbed off this world with rubbing alcohol. Woo men need to go back to the fucking kitchen. That's what fascism boils down to. The rest is also important. But the main thing is that woo men need to know their place. You're going to keep your vooz, right? Keep your vooz, Brota.
¿Qué verga habla, güey? Ay, güey.
There's a slow, painful growl. It is one of beach.
Dele pues, o al cuerpo.
A sturdy metal door guards the south. The door rattles again. The door rattles.
Stop banging on the door. I'm not letting any more strangers inside. The police? Everyone knows the police don't come round here. No. Go check the backyard.
Backyard door. There must be another entrance to.
Madame,
There is no reply. The door.
Stop banging on. Doesn't matter. No. Go.
Backyard door. There must be.
This is not going quite as I hoped it would, Detective. Honestly, I was expecting you to use your unorthodox technique to keep her off balance. And, you know, not volunteer us to be her henchman. This woman is running circles around
la
us.
verga.
She might have known about your misplaced badge all along. Or she's simply an adept in providing.
Maybe this is all her plan. She might have heard about you.
Oh, that would be fantastic, but do we have the time?
The situation might have changed drastically by the.
You could request a new one from the station, but that would literally take months.
Ay, no mames. Bueno. Pero pues. Ay, va a rodear hasta allá. No, no, no. Bien. Que la verga está del otro lado.
Are you trying to sneak up on me? Come to.
Apparently, she doesn't like people standing behind her back. Logic error. She is not.
Pigs come to take me out. Trying to snuff me out. Don't get fucking
La la la. Qué hueva hacer todo esto, güey. Qué bonita su casita, shit. No, no le hables, no. Vamos al cuerpo, güey. Su pinche pedo.
This trash container is locked. Well, it is a container. Maybe.
We could try using a pry bar, the one you took from my motor carriage, or we could ask for a key from the manager of the Whirling in Rags.
He might also have information. This is better than the pry bar. Well, it is a container. Maybe. Well, it is a container. Maybe you're prioritizing it. Well, it is a container. Maybe you're... No matter how strong... Well, it is a container.
Kuno's got this.
If there ever was such a thing as an ugly kid, then this is it.
Oh yeah, nappa gumpy, Kuno. Can't talk, pig. Shit's coming.
Shit coming up strong. That sounds good. Joyous. You should hang out with this kid and see what that juicy shit is all about. I mean drugs. The kid's on drugs.
Yeah, Kuno, ride the lot. Kuno's riding it, see? The rake, Kuno. He should throw the fuck? Does Kuno know what a rake is? Kuno's not a gardener. All right,
The kid moves his hands like a basketball player dribbling fast.
Kuno doesn't fuck.
The corpse looks at you with bulging white eyes. The face around them does not look human. You seem to be holding your breath. A cargo belt twists his neck at an unnatural angle. The body below appears stiff. It's letting out an ungodly rot. The smell seeps in, even through your...
Active decay.
He's about to blow. Cop's gonna blow, Kuno.
The smell... Too late. It's until the smell of Commodore Red rises from the pool. Among it, distilled spirit and bits.
It's okay. Happens to everyone. Keep it. The hangover is clearly making this worse for you. You could use some ammonia to clear your head. That young woman, the gardener, mentioned she used salts for the smell. If she doesn't have any, there might...
Acquiring ammonia will provide a modifier to the white check. Modifiers make checks easier and allow you to retry them.
Okay.
Inconspicuous pile of the roofing material, Eternite. Because there's a secret door hidden behind the panels of Eternite. That's why they're two. There it is. You see a shabby little door.
What is this then? A tool shed?
Mucha obsesión con el magnesio, güey. Mames, estás a caer. Oh. ¿Dónde llega ahí?
Looks like someone left his top. When the wind ruffles the cloak, you can most definitely see who.
Yes, you could probably make the jump. You look like you've done some track and field in your day. The cloak? I do think it's yours, yes. Well,
The cloak looks like the wind is aggressive up here. The lieutenant looks at the enormous crane towering in the distance over the container yard. That machine is a Kvalsund 1020 HK.
is it? But I digress. We were focusing on your cloak here.
Y voy a fracasar.
No, no. That's still too high. What were you? You could have died there. Shit.
Hey, hey! What happened? I understand. We can always come back when you are feeling better. It's just a cloak after all. What are we doing? Or it could be that we are just exploring.
Mamada, güey. Quiero pasar para allá, no puedo.
Be still, my beating heart. The lieutenant isn't. There's a good, vague way to ask where he stands on drug use. Professionally, I mean.
Perhaps not. This is below, but that...
There are several footprints in the mud, left by work boots. Anywhere from 6 to 12 pairs have walked here. Maybe more than 12. No. 8 pairs of boots have shuffled. 1. Standard work boot. 2. Standard work boot. 3. Hobnailed. 4. Standard work boot. Number 45 or you don't know. It's a miracle you can tell the 5. Another 6. An aberration. Light as air. Impossible to tell. Could also have been an adult. You're not bad. This is 7. The glowing 8. And yet an...
How many? I was pretty off then. I counted 20. I never got the hang of it. Hyperopia. Do you see anything out of the ordinary?
Highway.
Interesting. Let's someone operating a workbench with a pedal? Like a joiner. A drummer only uses the right foot for the... Perhaps it could be a driver. A driver would wear the right shoe before the left. The accelerator is on the right. We should keep our eyes open around the traffic jam. See whether anyone strikes out as a... A week, maybe?
It is not impossible.
I pulled last week's forecast for cold.
Correct again. Sub-zero temperatures would preserve the tracks in a good state. The commotion here could have taken place over. An old call box with a matrix of push buttons lists all the companies in the East Delta Commerce Center. This button looks new.
Huh. This button looks new. It's probably not connected yet.
An off-key menu.
Kudos.
She thinks you're the gremlin child.
Pardon, sis?
A single beep indicates that the line has gone dead. The worn and beaten wooden planks of the bench do not look overly comforting.
We can sit on benches.
You can revisit the bench if you ever need to pass the time when Lieutenant Kitsuragi is gone.
The worn and beaten wood.
We can sit on benches after we've solved.
You can revisit.
This Postlavantore, now a faint sticker on the side reads, RCM Emergencies Desk number 8102, with a slogan, Mankind, be vigilant. The box seems happy. Eat shit pig, fucked by the coon, and Saint G with a crown have been scribbled